Well, this is our intro.
Oh.
I don't like
script.
I like natural. So this is our intro. So let's go around and let's introduce it. Meetings, introduce yourself. My name is Anastasia. I started this whole shebang. I've been thinking about this for last year because every time we get together as girls, we always have this juicy, yummy conversation. And then me and Yasmin, we had this conversation. This has to be filmed. It cannot go unseen and unheard because this can help somebody. This can be somebody's therapy session. By the way, I own a spa business in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and it's actually called I Peach Aesthetics and Wellness. So there is a sign up here that you guys don't see that says I Peach. But as we progress, we're gonna get better with our picture. So
I'm Pam. No, I'm just excited to be here and to get to hang out with the girls and just have conversation, and it's something that gets done on a daily, but like Anastasia said, why not put it out there and get feedback and get your questions and get us all involved, because we should be each other's cheerleaders. It's not just different cliques and different groups, and we all go through very similar things. We're here. So if you feel like you don't belong somewhere, I'm gonna tell you right now, you do, because we're here. So you belong here.
Desi. Hi, I'm Desi. Like Pam said and Anastasia, this is a group that gets together. I feel honored that I've been invited here. Different points of view. Everybody has a different opinion, and you might have a question or an opinion of your own that you'd like to tell us about.
I am, yes, we have such good, juicy conversations. Even there's a few people missing, and it's like, why it? Not just, it could be therapeutic, just something, just entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Let's roll.
So what's our topic today?
But I think another good one is
That happens when they think cameras are not rolling.
that everything has a double meaning to being inappropriate. Where do you draw the line? Is it okay? Is it cool? Is it nice? Is it attractive for women
Oh, no.
to partake in those innuendos, especially amongst a group of men?
No.
Linda, I'm lost. Linda.
So
Innuendos, basically when guys make
the-
different jokes or say different things
That's what she
very
said.
sexual, or that's what she said.
Or I got peached. Because I saw that, and then I saw the t-shirt and it says, I peach. Well, my brain, the way it thinks at times, I peach. What am I doing? I'm taking that to a whole different level.
I know.
So that could be a different innuendo there.
Yeah, you're
But he's saying, is it
Yeah.
appropriate for a woman,
females
for females to
take part in that.
And I don't think so.
And then on the other side of that, then take it seriously.
Exactly.
So sometimes I get that sometimes amongst women it does happen, but if you're in a setting where there's males, is it cool for a woman?
Or is
Is it appropriate? Does a male see that as attractive or unattractive? I don't think it's very.
But what if
ladylike.
you have a gay friend? I think that's more like a girlfriend. No? I think you can make those type of jokes among gay friends. Can't you?
It doesn't matter with them. They would be like another girlfriend. They're not a girl, but that's their mentality. You understand? So they would take it in if it was the four of us and there was that one particular gay guy sitting there, and he would laugh he would find the humor just like we would find the humor.
Yeah,
right.
But when you're amongst a crowd that has men, they're not going to take you serious.
Yes.
Do you understand? Because you're going to say that and you're going to express what the double meaning is, and now this man is thinking, oh, this is the way this chick thinks. ¿Tú entiendes? So I'm not really going to, I know where she's coming or what she's about, when you really don't know what she's about. But it's not nice. It's like a woman cursing. A woman can be beautiful, but the minute that she opens her mouth and profanity comes out, it's a turnoff.
I have a problem with that because I have a sailor mouth. No, I used to have. When I get upset, or like when I'm like really passionate about a conversation, then some things come out. But I have been very intentional in
That's my thing.
cutting
with
that
that.
trying not to
the person.
turning off. That's what she said. I was telling her for me was easy because I was not like that before. So when The Office came out,
The show.
that everybody you've seen The Office.
Little clips.
So that's what she said. Michael Scott said something and then it had double meaning. So anytime it had a double meaning, that's what she said. So that became a thing, and then I started. Then you can find a double meaning in everything, and I would say that's what she said, and it was funny, ha ha ha. But now I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I just super intentional with not doing it, and it became easy for me. Not that mentally, sometimes you're not like.
That's what she said.
Or sometimes when I speak, I say things and not realize that it could come off. So I'm trying to slow down and make sure that I pick the right words so that I'm not giving a reason to somebody to say that's what she said.
Me as
Non-English, that English is not your first language.
yes. So this is what I think. When I am among my friends, I want to be very comfortable. I want to be 100% authentic. But then that makes me think when I am in society, professional environment, I always have to filter my thoughts, filter everything, so I don't offend anyone, or I don't say anything that I may unintentionally offend somebody.
Like people who use profane language all the time, do you find it easy to turn that off? Doesn't it ever slip in a professional setting or when you're talking to the wrong?
Yeah, I don't think it is easy to
It just slips in
turn
your
off.
brain.
Because you make it a part of your vocabulary.
Correct.
So there's certain times where you're just talking and it just comes out. So you do have to be very intentional to be like, not use the F word or like,
With me is that is the S word and the shit. I was just giving Sis a ride last night, as a matter of fact, and we were talking about something, and I was like, shit. I was like, oops, sorry, but that's poop. You understand? It's still
Maybe when you have kids. I think when you have, I don't know if that happened with you guys, when you have kids. When I'm around my nephews, I realize I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to watch that. Or when I'm around Lindsay's kids. You sweared, Miss Yasmin. Whoa, swear police is here.
They're telling you.
Yes.
You swear, and then you realize how much you say things, even when you say damn. They're like, oh, you swore.
You have to say dang. That's it.
Dang.
That's
I
dang.
don't think I've ever used dang.
No,
So
dang.
that would be very hard for me.
Yeah.
I definitely use damn.
But with you, you're not always
No, you
using
don't- no.
because you speak properly, you express yourself correctly. But it's like you said, when something gets you really upset, or you're passionate, or you're really like, ugh, then that's when that comes out.
That F word.
Yeah.
Hispanic
My
comes
best
out.
friend.
I loved when Hispanic people started.
It sounds like they argue, but we just
I don't
talking.
understand it, but I feel like I understand the meaning.
It, so
It feels different when you say it in Spanish sometimes.
Yes.
It's a different meaning to it.
Ukraine, they don't curse a lot.
They still curse. Learning about different cultures. This is why I love Hispanic cultures. I think there are a lot of similarities between our culture and Hispanic culture, because that saying, work hard, play harder. I think because you're very hardworking people, just like our culture, and you know how to work, but you know how to party. So every time I hear this Hispanic, I may not understand it, but it's like a music to my ears.
I can't imagine what Russians and Ukrainians party like.
We can always go to Brooklyn, New York.
Are there a lot of Ukrainians there?
A lot, yeah. Ukrainians and Russians. Okay, lately, the last 2 years, it's been a little bit rocky road, but I don't consider myself one or the other. I'm both because I was raised in both cultures, both environment. I don't like separate both cultures close to me. They have a lot of similarities. It's different languages. There is a little bit differences in the cultures, but because of the historical past, we were part of the same Soviet Union in the past. Not only Ukraine and Russia, but there's actually 16 different countries. We all were united at one point.
Is that country that starts with an A right below Russia one of them? Where the guy that cuts hair that I want to go with.
Which one?
It's not Albania. It's
Azerbaijan.
Bernese. It was a weird.
Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan.
How on earth would I have ever figured that out?
Duh. You can read it? That's what I said.
Sound it out.
Azerbaijan.
Isn't it cool to go to Azerbaijan just to cut your hair? I think it's Barrington.
Oh, yes. What he thinks about current topic.
We had unexpected guests.
And Barrington, the question was, we were discussing about innuendos.
Innuendos.
Like
sexual innuendo.
man's on point.
Yeah.
I was saying that the question that they pose, is it proper for like to
Engage in that type of conversation when you're amongst a group of men. For example, I have a lot of guy friends.
Okay.
So, there's a bunch of guys together.
Okay.
There's little hidden innuendos, and I'm over here like engaging in it and making fun of it. And she used to say a lot like, oh, that's what she said. You guys have a different perspective on that female that's engaging with you guys? Or is it appropriate? Is it not appropriate? Is it like
1000% transparency.
or will
Yeah.
you see her?
Because you're in the transparent seat.
You're in the
Yeah.
transparent
Yeah.
seat.
So
No
truthfully-
bullshit.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be a seat even if I wasn't in the seat. Well, so truthfully, it depends on the woman, because there's levels to it, right? So if, like for me, in the dating world, right, I would look at it as like, it depends on how serious I would take it with that woman. I expect her to be like, see a serious relationship with her, like with her. I don't really know how I would feel depending on the level that I am with her. If she's those girls where it's like a ass, I won't really care as much because she's temporary. Like, that's the truth, she's temporary. But if it's something long term, like I would more so want something a bit more respectful.
Yeah.
You know? But it also depends on the level of the sexual innuendo, you know what I mean?
There's levels.
Can you, like, said you were around a group of guys, can you give me, like, who said? So,
I couldn't even think of a scenario. I just know that I have, with guys and...
I have an example.
Okay.
Was in a room with two males, professional setting, and somebody, a female, had brought cucumbers us from her farm.
I'm already laughing.
It's just a cucumber. It's a freaking
cucumber.
So that one's not bad. Like, I feel like most of us would, because I already get where it's going.
But it was huge. It was the biggest cucumber I've ever seen in my life.
I was thinking about that already.
So who said something? Did you initiate it, or did the guy say something?
Somebody I was dating at the time felt that it was inappropriate for us to laugh at the fact that this cucumber was so huge and it was amongst males, and just, I don't even recall there being any jokes that specifically. I think the female had probably made a joke, but he just felt like it was just so wrong that I even had this cucumber. But in a situation like that, where there's just like you were in the outside looking in, and is it okay? Is it look bad if a woman's kind of like entertaining any jokes about cucumber?
So I think, like I said, it goes back to like levels to it. For me, the person you were dating at the time, was it like, so was it not serious?
It was supposed to be serious.
Yes. Like I said, I don't really know his perspective on it. For me, I would think it's funny. Like, if that's the truth. Like, in circumstances, I would think it's funny.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's the joke. The ones that laughed were the women. Pero
the males did too.
Yeah. The question in C in itself is, okay, it doesn't matter that you're dating the woman or anything. These are three beautiful women, ¿verdad? Entonces there's a group of guys and you start saying, you're joking and everything. I took the I got peached. I peach. You take that anyway. You can take it to a different road. I took it a different road. I know where I'm thinking about. So if the woman was supposed to, if she comes out and she starts laughing about it, I think that to a certain point, ¿verdad? Porque because,
or are we seeing more, or do you see them more as like, I must be a freak, or she was there, or
Then, like I said, it still depends on the, if you're not having a relationship and she's like that type of person to just say that stuff, I would completely assume she's just a special.
Okay, it bothers me with Barrington. It's always for him, is it serious or not?
No, but that's why we
determine if he'll take you serious if you're not that kind of woman. He's not going to take you serious if that's the kind of woman that you are.
Yeah.
And you carry yourself.
So if it's me and my buddies, right? Like, me and my buddies were going out this Friday, right? But if we have like a girl in there and she's throwing sexual in left and right, we're not going to take her seriously, like, for a relationship, because it's just like she's not taking herself seriously. If it goes to like social media. Like, I see a woman there who has like nude photos there. If one of my boys would be like, "Yo, I'm really feeling this chick. Like, you think I should take a shit?" I'd be like,
everybody else is feeling this chick.
No, but in the reverse scenario, like, a guy was doing the same thing. Like, the reason I asked is because once upon a time when I first started my career, I posted whatever. So I'll leave it at that. So I was just curious how it would be on the other foot then.
Like seeing things on social media, you're saying, of a guy?
Yeah, like photos, like stuff like that.
But see him as an F-boy.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Just
doing too much.
Yeah, you
can't take you serious.
just want the attention.
That's how guys look at it.
Okay.
I'm probably the only one. Sorry, I'm probably the only one who's not agreeing with all of you guys.
Really? Okay. So what do you think then?
Stereotypical. What's the
Stereotypical
thinking that, just because the girl is exposed herself in the bikini on Instagram or whatever the case may be, she's not serious. But what if it's her job?
But it's not necessarily meaning that that's how the person acts or is, or that's their thought process or behaves any certain way. I think it's more so the perspective of it. Okay. It could be that her job, if she's a model and she's a lingerie model or she's whatever, then girl, do you get your money. But if that's not the job and you're just exposing yourself, what difference is it going to be for your future whatever boyfriend, husband to see you in that way than every other man that comes in counter to your account?
And it kind of been like a domino effect for me. So when it comes to like how serious considered to meet like my family, right? Like, those are digging, let's be honest. So what am I gonna say to my mother, like, "Oh yeah, you're feeling this chick, I'd like to meet her," and it's like, "Oh, what's her name? What's she look like?" And then she says like, "OnlyFans," like she has a bunch of bikini photos. she's like, I can't.
Especially, it's tough because we're living in a society where sex sells.
You gotta have respect for your kids. There's so many other ways that you can make a living.
Even your unborn kids.
Yeah, that you don't necessarily have to go there. Guaranteed that the person that's here flipping those dollars don't really got no respect for you. Because you're allowing me to put this money anywhere I want.
Some guys have a different perspective in that, though. Just see it as like just her job. I know guys who dated strippers and they don't disrespect them. They just think of it like
that's a job.
Okay, so out of curiosity, those men who dated the stripper though, how far did that relationship go? Did it make it?
I know somebody who
it makes
married.
far.
But some of them do, because then the girl gets out of that industry.
I'm just curious how well the relationship on. Like, I'm not saying that it doesn't work out. I'm not saying it does.
Like going on behind closed doors.
Yeah, I'm just
I don't
curious
know.
Are there some insecurities and some?
I don't know what goes on after doors, but I do know there's been situations where the female then eventually gets out of that industry because the guy doesn't want them to be in there any longer when they do become serious. It doesn't mean that.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Cardi B was a stripper. She stripped because she was.
Yeah.
But she got out. She got her money. She did what she got to do, and she got out.
Yeah.
It's sad that that's how this world is, though. That sometimes that's the route that you have to take. The industry you have to be in to get
sex sells.
Yeah.
So even not just the strip clubs. Let's go back to the internet.
Yeah.
The stuff that can never go away. That is there forever. Like Gary. At that, for some people, it is just a job. And eventually, at some point, you come out of it. I do ask myself, what are the long-term repercussions? A lot of people can turn things off momentarily, but because you turn it off and almost like it doesn't have any effect on you.
Yes.
Like, long-term, what are the effects of you having exposed your body to so many people? Because not just men, if you're stripping there, people are touching you, or maybe you're sleeping with people, doing whatever it is, and then on the internet, where does that go? And what people are seeing, how does that long term, what kind of effects does that have? And we live in the world where everything is that sex sells. And like I mentioned to you, even in our industry, I was just having a conversation yesterday with someone, and they were saying, wow, people are choosing to work with someone. Even in the real estate industry, they're going on their social media pages.
Yeah.
What can I see?
Why'd you look at me like that?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
I'm understanding that people want to work with somebody who is attractive, somebody who maybe are a little more sexual looking or kind of on the sex sells kind of thing. That is a trend in our industry now too. They're just telling me that this girl who used to live in a city outside of PA is now a porn star, lives in California, is now a porn star by night, a realtor by day. I was like, oh. And then when I see the page, I'm like, you see both. You see both.
What customers are you actually getting then? When you narrowing yourself down to a specific group, you're not going to get a family. You're not going to get a wife that has a husband and children who's going to be looking through your social media and say, that's not the realtor that I want. You're absolutely not going to be a part of my family and try to sell us a house. So I go both ways. I think in that industry it's very hard for women. I think it's a little easier for men.
Oh, yeah.
Because a man could want to work with another man because in their mindset it's that guys will always know more. Guys are a little bit more educated than it could be, right?
Yes.
But it could be the same thing with the women looking at a man and saying, oh, handsome, or he looks like he looks
competent.
He looks good. He looks You guys can dress nice and look nice, and then that's it. Where a woman can try to look nice, but then her looking nice can then become sexual.
Yes.
Ding, ding, ding,
that is very true.
So you start to lose that customer base.
Yes, girl. Okay, we have to hear a guy now.
I think it can vary because it depends on the levels of how the person's looking. That's like my 2 cents. Like going back to what you said, I do agree with you. Like visually attractive, physically attractive, like a plus. Like I've seen it from both sides. Like definitely something worth it in it.
Yeah.
And the truth is, it helps to make more money when you're it's just the truth. On top of having competence too and knowledge of your industry is just a benefit.
Like a lot of content that I was like sexualized. Whether it's I'm exposing a little bit more or moving in a way that kind of feels a little extra. Maybe because I'm not that way, but I see it and I'm like, wow, that it looks a little sexualized. And they're probably doing really well. Not so much with men. I think I see a little bit more with women.
Como que dicen, what is it they say? Has to work harder.
But you have to work twice as hard to get half the credit.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I think that applies to women.
Oh, yes.
The women get 78 cents to the dollar, where the man gets $1. Women are only getting 78 cents to the dollar. You understand? So there's that difference.
So, yeah.
Wait, are you talking about the glass ceiling effect, where like a guy gets paid more than a woman?
Exacto. Pero it falls in the sense that I think that women have to go that extra mile, because to where for you it's a lot easier to handle the business because men are viewed differently.
I disagree. I disagree on these.
I don't know if I completely agree.
So I have 2 questions just right off the rip. One, when it comes to jobs and employment, women are less likely to negotiate their salary.
Yes.
So that's
yes.
number one, because if someone's HR has a cap between, let's say, 50,000 and 70,000, if they hit you with 60, most women will not negotiate that, even though there's cap at 70.
Correct.
Like, you won't ask the question.
Correct.
Whereas most men, we're willing to ask.
You're more assertive.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
for me, I just negotiated a deal for one of my best friends. I was having difficulty like jobs 2 years ago because I reckon I'm an advocate for job hopping. Like,
Yeah.
I'm an advocate for it all day.
Be where you're appreciated and be where you're getting paid.
Statistically, you make more money job hopping, right? So 2 years ago, I told him to job hop. He went from about 53,000 to 70,000. Now he job hopped again recently, and now he's at 85.
Wow. That's a big difference.
In 2 years,
You're-
right?
Yeah.
He goes to me for negotiations because he knows the industry I'm in. We negotiate it.
Right.
So that's definitely a factor when it comes to that statistic
Okay.
of if men make more.
Yeah.
I'm willing. I'll argue all day.
Yeah.
But our industry, they're known for in their social media. That's the
Yeah.
one thing I'm curious.
You're not a sugar mama? There be sugar mamas out there.
They sure are.
I'm aware.
Dude, I do. And yeah.
Yeah.
See, esa sugar mama is not so sugary looking.
Yeah.
That's a sacrifice.
But it goes both ways.
But it goes both ways. ¿Tú me
It's a
entiendes?
sacrifice because at that point you're only looking at the finance while
Exactly.
she's looking at the physical.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I know we have to cut it because we just went into a whole other thing.
We jumped into several topics.
You asked a question about you have sexual like entrepreneurs.
Uh-huh.
If maybe they're into something else, and then you mentioned sugar daddy. I think so. Yeah,
What? That they're into something else?
probably.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Whether it's
It's
maybe an
not rewarding.
OnlyFans or maybe
yeah.
you get
I
somebody's
think-
attention.
I think there's benefits to it. Like be transparent. I think there's benefits to it. Like,
Well, you have to be. You're in the seat.
Yeah, I'd be lying to you if like in college I didn't think of stripping once or twice. Like I'm being fully transparent. But like now, even if I was struggling, like I wouldn't do it. Just like I don't want like my language. I don't want my mother to see my dick slam.
Exactly. And you just never know. Mommy might be out there throwing that dollar.
Like,
You know?
it's just not something I want my family.
And she like, parenting!
now. But honestly, if I like now I'm 30, I wouldn't do it. If I was still like 18, 19,
Yeah,
like
because it's
before,
fast money.
man,
Yeah.
You're also in a season where you just don't care.
Exactly.
yeah. But then the repercussions that come with it, like
Correct,
is
she
the other
was-
thing too.
yeah.
To keep in mind.
I was saying like, what are
For the
those
season that
terms?
you do care.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like
What
you
is
want to
that
run
like?
for president, and then here comes Barrington, the poster. Don't vote for this gentleman. He used to sling.
Or not even that, like you don't know who your boss is going to be
Yeah.
in 5-10 years.
Yes.
And imagine you doing something or putting something out there, and then networking is big, especially in your industry. And then someone's like, "You look really familiar."
See.
Oh, I remember.
Yes.
I saw them.
I don't know how it got to strippers, but I like to stay in the judgment-free zone.
Yeah.
Learned along the way, being exposed to, and this is why I love traveling and exposing different cultures, because the more you travel, the more you making those connections with different cultures and different upbringing. I think you become less and less judgmental, because who
Absolutely.
the hell are you to judge others?
Exactly.
You don't know,
Yeah.
like if somebody even has a stripper background. Maybe they become a doctor and save your life in the future. You don't know that. Maybe that's what it took them to go through medical school, to nursing school, through whatever.
Absolutely.
Case maybe. You know, that's why I like to stay in very judgment-free zone. I always like to give people chances to kind of their real.
That doesn't
Who they
define
are.
who they are. It does not
Exactly.
define who they are as a
Exactly.
person.
And this
Yeah.
is a judge-free area. While we're
Yeah.
talking, we're just
Yeah.
out different
Hashtag
lifestyles.
judgment-free
Yeah.
zone.
Basically, it's what we're thinking about it. You said if
We have
people-
questions about it, so if
Yeah.
anybody has something to say or
We're gonna have to wrap up. We have gathering from all different backgrounds, industries, cultures, backgrounds that I love so much. If you're watching this episode, thank you and welcome. We will be airing more. This is our pilot. Make your comments, your thoughts, share your opinions. It's judgment-free zone, as long as it's been with respect to one another.
Yes.
Yeah.
And constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
See you next time.
Press
I
what?
didn't even think this was what we were coming here for.